All right, how's everyone doing? I am Rich CELENZA. Thanks for checking out the Rich CELENZA Show. So, what I'm going to call this podcast is Your Wealth May Be Destroying Your Health. Now, I know for the most part my age demographic is around 18 to 35. So, I'm not saying I don't have wealthy younger guys listening to me, but I think most of the people that I at least question or I get comments from or emails and stuff, they seem to be on the younger side, which is wonderful. And a lot of times what I talk about, I think, is to help younger men and women regarding a lot of different things. I think I take a different perspective on most adults, or older, I guess you could say, people in their 50s. I goof around and call myself the youngest millennial out there, which is ridiculous. I'm not a millennial, but I just kid around. But this one's kind of going to be more or less for guys that are older or wealthier, I should say, or middle-aged, or maybe even, I don't know, but in their elder years, I think this is going to maybe relate more to them to a certain degree. And I think I went through this, but I went through it at a very young age, which is interesting because I made a lot of money when I was younger instead of later. So it was kind of like the flip where a lot of guys, I was making a lot of money in my 20s and maybe 30s, but I jumped into making films, so I can't say then. When a lot of my friends now, let's say they're in their 40s and 50s, they're starting to make a lot more money even in their 60s. But I realized that when I was, the more money I made to a certain degree, the unhealthier I became. And a lot of people don't want to admit this. And, this isn't everybody. I'm just telling you, this is what I see with a lot of people. And it's not, I think a lot of people use age as an excuse. But the reality is, a lot of times I think when we want to make more money, of course, we're focused in usually that, which takes a lot of time and effort, that's what you want to do, wonderful. For the most part, a lot of successful dudes, unless you were born into money, they work a lot of hours. You know what I mean? And I get it. If they want to live a certain lifestyle, they have a certain amount of family members that they have to take care of. All these things cost a lot of money. And if they want to go well beyond, they want to become extremely wealthy, it's going to put a lot of time and effort, usually a lot of stress, which is fine. But when it came to me, I was definitely, when I was younger, I was working a lot. Especially in the vending business, because not only were we running dart leagues, we were moving equipment, we were doing service till like 11 o'clock at night. So basically from the minute you wake up to kind of when you go to bed, you're kind of either working or on call. That didn't even include doing tournaments on weekends. It was nonstop, and you're dealing with, in the bar industry like we were, and except for maybe Christmas, and I don't even think then, bars, for the most part, they never shut down, or nightclubs or gentlemen's clubs. They open roughly around in the afternoon or in the late morning, I guess, and they're open till 2 in the morning. So, it's always ongoing. And I was spending a lot of time, working and making money, and also in that lifestyle, eating out a lot at a lot of different places. And I found myself, even when I wasn't, eating at a lot of different places that weren't that healthy for me, I was spending a lot of money on dinners, going out, expensive restaurants, most of the best restaurants in town. Again, not eating that healthy. What did save me was, though, I was always fitting in a workout. I would try to fit him in no matter what time I could fit him in. It could be before going to work. It could be literally in the evening. It could be very late at night. Whenever I could fit him in, I'd fit him in. Even if I had to go to a hotel in Orlando, Florida, and sneak in to do one at midnight, I would do it. I would do all these wacky things. And then weekends, I always worked out. So that saved me. But I found myself, when I was wealthier, just getting heavier and heavier. And I had an obsession where I wanted to be big. But again, instead of me taking the wealth and, besides work, and kind of saying, you have money now to really eat better, right? Live kind of a healthier lifestyle to a certain degree. I wasn't doing that. I think I was just so focused on money, again, and wealth, that I put my health aside. Now, back to a lot of my friends and family members and everybody else, I see this happening with a lot of them, especially my wealthier family members. A lot of them do like to stay in shape, but I'd say a majority of them golf more than anything, which I'm not saying that's great to a certain degree. That's better than nothing, and I definitely think golfing is a fun game, especially it's great for, again, business, so I think a lot of people utilize it to say, hey, I'm going to get some steps in, get my golf game on, and I can network as well. talk business. It all kind of flows, which is great. But if you are somebody, let me get some water here in my throat, that regardless if you're wealthy or if you're starting on the wealth track, do not neglect your health. I talk about it all the time. Your health has to be first. I'm just telling you. Now, that doesn't mean that I want you to go lose your home or get thrown out of your house or not make car payments. That's ridiculous. But what I am saying is, in your life, the healthier you can sustain, or basically, the healthier you are each and every single day, the better you're going to be off in the long run, especially in the future. Because I think a lot of guys, and I was one of them, you think you're indestructible, especially in your 20s, 30s, and 40s. But I see so many dudes now, especially in their 50s, if you plan to live that long, right, they're in bad shape. A lot of them chase the dollar, which is fine. And a lot of them have a lot of things. A lot of them have homes, condos, they travel, they have cars. Don't get me wrong, a lot of that, and I've said this before, a lot of them can barely go up 2 flights of stairs without literally breaking a sweat and almost fainting. You know, you got to really pay attention to these things, because also the one thing I realize with a lot of people with their wealth and health, I've discussed this before, but it's been a while. A lot of money you end up making and neglecting your health, you end up spending back into your health. The thing is, you've gone too far a lot of times. So, and that doesn't mean you can't get healthier. What I'm saying is if you neglect your health for a certain amount of years, you can end up having a heart attack. And it could be stress related too. You may also become obese, right? You can have a stroke. You don't think usually these things are going to happen, but they happen. I'm just telling you. And a lot of people too, like just gaining weight throughout their life. They don't think they're going to have problems or they're going to eventually lose the weight. They don't. Before you know it, they're having knee issues, lower back issues. They're having all these different types of issues. Now, you're going to here's the thing too that I'm going to wrap up with. As you age, what people have to realize, not only do you want to take care of your health, but you're going to have issues anyways. So it's like a double kind of thing going on here. As you age and say you're not healthy, not only are you hurting your body, or that's going to be an issue you're going to have to deal with, you're also going to have to deal, like most people, your eyes start to go, let's say, for instance, right? Your eyes aren't as strong. Your immune system may get weaker. Your bones may get more brittle. You're not going to be most likely as strong in your 50s, 60s, and 70s that you were in your 20s, 30s, and 40s. It's a reality. But you can kind of prepare for that a little better. But again, I think back to the wealth, right? And I also think this happens to people, I should say, that aren't wealthy. That a lot of times, people that aren't wealthy, that doesn't give you a pass not to be healthy. Does that make sense? So if you're not making a lot of money, in your 40s, 50s, whatever the case may be, and you feel shit out of luck, that doesn't mean you have to go out and eat junk food or destroy your body. You can always, taking care of your health will always give you a better opportunity in the future to do better, at least feel better. I'm just telling you, may not realize that. And a lot of people, and I've been there, you don't realize how shitty you feel a lot of times because you're either overweight or you have neglected your health for long periods of time, and you think all these different types of possessions are going to replace that for some weird reason. So you know what, I don't feel good, I'm getting kind of slow, I'm getting chest pains, or I feel winded, you know what, let me go out and buy a new car. You go out and buy a new car, you're all excited, whatever. That did nothing for your health, but you may feel better. But there's a difference between feeling emotionally better and saying, oh wow, look, I got a brand new badass car and I'm getting all this attention or whatever makes you feel good, from that perspective. But how about your health? That's a different type of feeling. Again, go up a flight of stairs or go walk 2 miles or go play, I don't care if you jog a block, see how you feel after that. You got to just bring a balance there. So I just want to do a podcast on this. I don't want to get super long-winded, but don't let your wealth, I'm telling you, destroy your health, because that's one of the things that I see more than anything, with the exception of a lot of times athletes, obviously, who get paid millions of dollars for their, their health or whatever they're doing physically. I'm not telling you have to do that, but you kind of might want to look at athletes where you kind of challenge yourself a little bit. And I know you may not be getting paid to play sports. I get that. But, if you look at a lot of wealthy athletes, that it's extending. I don't care if it's Tom Brady, LeBron James, all these guys. They are heading into their 40s. They're playing sports longer. They're still getting paid a lot of money, but they took care of their health along the way. And for them to be able to do that and play professional sports and collegiate throughout their entire life shows that you can do both. I know that's their living. I'm not telling you got to be them, but definitely take care of your health regardless how wealthy you are, and that goes for sleep and nutrition as well. Again, it doesn't have to be excessive. Just please pay attention to it, because a lot of times, it just goes too far. People become too unhealthy. Before you know it, they may even end up with diabetes. Before you know it, they're having, it could be hip replacements, knee replacements, and that can happen to anybody. But try to really take care of yourself. All right? Take care, and I wish you nothing but the best.